Well, hey, what's up, everybody? This is Joel, and I want to thank you for joining me today. I've got a very special video for you. You guys all love the egg cuttings, and so I'm going to share with you the most popular egg cutting that we ever recorded. In fact, when I recorded it, I didn't intend to put it on YouTube, and you'll probably be able to tell that in a second as you watch. It was pretty rough. I had some audio issues. Thankfully, they didn't last long. But even with the very non-professional appearance of this video, I got the surprise of my breeding career when I cut that first egg, and the surprises just kept coming. It was awesome. By far, my most popular video that I've ever posted to date on YouTube, and I'm going to share it with you again today in effort to raise some funds for hurricane relief. So, in a second here, I'm going to get you right into the cutting, and you'll get to see my completely unscripted, authentic reaction to the surprise of this clutch. But don't stop there, because after the egg cutting, I'm going to come back in and share some footage of the update of the babies right after they had their first shed. And then I'll come back in one more time, and I'm going to share with you a today view of the 2 babies from the clutch that I kept as a part of my personal collection. So it's going to be awesome. I know you'll enjoy it. Thanks for joining me. Be sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Would you please hit that thumbs up button and comment for me? And let's get into it.
All right, so it's finally time to cut the first clutch of the 2023 season. This was a lesser GHI female to a black pastel GHI yellow belly male. I wrote them backwards on there. Normally the male comes first, but I just wrote them backwards on this one. So today is day 59, so we're going to go ahead and see what's inside. Pretty excited to see what's in here, hoping for some dark colors and cool patterns. Well, what in the world? What on earth? That looks like a pied. I'm a little in shock right now because this really looks like a black pastel pied or something like that. Holy moly. To my knowledge, neither of these animals were het for anything. That looks like a black pastel pied. Oh. Wow. I am kind of in shock. Well, this would be the surprise of the season, probably. Oh, I was already really excited about this clutch, and now suddenly I am a whole lot more excited. You got to be kidding me. Oh. Sorry, I'm freaking out a little bit. Sorry for being a weirdo, but that was quite the surprise. And now everything else is going to be even more of an excitement. See what we got here. I see some dark colors. Ooh, look at that. Definitely GHI. Hard to tell what else is going on in there. Could be super GHI. Yellow belly possibly. GHI yellow belly, I think, at least, if not more. What I'm doing is I'm actually moving these over to a different box for them to crawl out, just because I'm hatching these eggs in an A1 grade vermiculite. That's what my feed store had last year. That's all they had available. It's really small and really fine. So once you cut the eggs and the babies start to crawl out, it gets everywhere. Makes a huge mess. So once I do this, I move them over to a different box for them to finish absorbing the yolk and then crawl out. Oh my goodness. Is that what? Oh my goodness, it's another pied. This is unbelievable. So not only, and it's a black pastel pied too, I think. Oh my gracious. We'll have to see when it crawls out. So not only did I not know that either of these were het pied, but I'm also doing really good on the odds. To get 2 already out of 7 eggs would be good odds, but we've only cut 3 eggs and we got 2 pieds. This is nuts. Thank you, Lord. I love cool snakes. I love pieds. I love dark snakes. Man, this is so cool. You never know what you're going to get. We got some more GHI action in this one, looks like. Oh, yeah. GHI, gotta have it. Look at that. GHI, probably black pastel. We'll see when it crawls out. It's hard to tell right now. So far, this is a banger. Can't believe this. All right, sorry. I know this video is getting really long because of the surprises here. Try and get these last ones. And, well, the odds come and the odds go. Looks like we have a normal here. Or maybe a yellow belly. I don't think black pastel or anything else in that one. So still pretty cool. It's definitely not a normal. I think it's at least yellow belly. And the cool thing is now I know these are all also 66% possible het pied. We got another pied. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't see any pattern at all. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens when this one crawls out. Yeah, I don't see any pattern. So that'll be interesting to see. So the history is, if some of you might remember last year, actually it was 2 years ago, was the first clutch I got from this mom. She was sold to me actually at an auction as a GHI, single gene GHI. But when she had her first clutch, she had a bell. I was able to work with the breeder and track down that she actually was just an odd looking lesser GHI, because she had produced a bell. She had to have a lesser gene. And so who knows? That could be another mystery. We got another pied here. And it looks like it's also black pastel or GHI. To be honest with you, I'm not sure what a GHI pied looks like. But we definitely got a dark spot here like a black pastel pied. So this is insane. This has just been the craziest clutch ever. So we've got, I was really hoping for a lot of dark snakes here, but I don't know that I can complain about this, because we actually have 3 pieds. All of them look to be black pastel and or GHI. Can't tell for sure. And we've got a possible pied. Looks all white. I don't think we could get a bell from this because I produced the sire, and I know there's, I don't know. It'll be crazy. I can't wait to see what crawls out of this clutch. Thanks for watching. My mind's blown. I hope you've enjoyed this and can't wait to see what comes out. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. We've got an amazing update. I think most of the babies have shed out from clutch 1. This is our surprise clutch. If you didn't see the egg cutting video that I posted about 2 weeks ago, I got completely shocked and surprised by this clutch with results that should not have been possible. So if you want to see my live and unedited reaction to the shock when I cut that first egg, go watch that previous video. I'm going to put a link in the description if you want to check it out. But today we're going to look at the updates, what the babies look like shed out, and just talk about them a little bit. And I hope you enjoy these beauties. Thanks for watching. Here is our clutch. I think they're all but one have shed out, but I just couldn't wait any longer. We're going to get them separated into their individual tubs. But if you saw the video, or even if you hadn't, the surprise was I did not know that either of the parents in this clutch were het for pied. Sorry about the mess. I cleaned it yesterday, but you know how babies are. I didn't know that either parent was het pied. And then I cut the first egg, and I think it was this baby right here. There was that first egg that I cut, and I got that. And man, I was shocked. Absolute beauty. It's really been a struggle to look at these things and try to figure out what's going on in all of these. So the pairing that we now know, both were het for pied, but it was dad was a pied. Hey there, somebody wants to be on YouTube. Black pastel, GHI yellow belly. And I took him to a lesser GHI female. I was going to pull dad out real quick and show him, but he looks like he's ready to eat. He already had a rat earlier, well, yesterday, but he looks like he's wanting to eat some more. But anyway, so black pastel, GHI yellow belly to a lesser GHI, expecting lots of cool little babies like these, hoping for really dark stuff, busy patterns, absolutely beautiful, gotta have it, GHI morph. But we got a lot of pied mixed in there, which is awesome. So we'll start with these. And really, I've been trying to do some research on what all we've got here, but GHI and black pastel in pieds can be tricky to ID, especially when these are all pretty much high white pieds. So I don't have a lot to work with. I'm going to ask some other more experienced breeders who have experience with these genes to try and help me figure out. But this little guy or girl is obviously GHI. I believe GHI yellow belly. You can see there. Also curious about the camera, isn't it adorable? He or she. But we're just going to separate them out here. Woo! If I can get him to calm down now. He wants to go all over the place. And we're going to get them in their tubs. And then I'm going to come back a little later. And I do pop each of them. But to be honest, I'm not that great at it. I've gotten better. But I really I do pop. But then I like to wait till they shed out. And then I go ahead and confirm what I've found popping through probing. It's a more sure method. This is obviously super GHI. I'm thinking super GHI lesser. There is some blue in the eyes. I don't know if I can capture that on the camera, but there's a little bit of blue. The belly's a lot cleaner, not yellow at all like the other one, but pixelated, which happens with GHI a lot. So I believe this is a Super GHI lesser, but chime in, let me know what you think. Absolutely gorgeous. I believe that that's a little girl. Put her up. Then our most, I guess, basic or least number of genes is this little one here. Just a nice yellow belly. You can see kind of almost a butterfly head pattern here. That's typical of the yellow bellies. And a lot of pixelation and flaming coming up the sides. That nice yellow belly. Nice little baby here. Likes to stay balled up. Get them put away. And now to the pieds. If anybody has any idea what's going on with these, feel free to shout out. But again, black pastel and GHI, to try and distinguish those in a pied, especially with such little pattern, is really, really tricky. But you can see this one's probably 80% white. Nice dorsal pattern there. I believe this is a GHI pied. A black pastel pied, I believe. Possible GHI, but I might need another shed or two on these to really get going. This one is a boy for sure. Look at that spot. Y'all have to comment which one's your favorite as we go through here. All right, we'll get him put away. Next we got here, this is the darkest one. And again, you can see some light tinting on the head. This guy's really curious too. He likes to move around and check things out. I'm thinking GHI or maybe even a Super GHI pied. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think that's a girl, but we're going to verify that with the probe after we're done here. I'm going to save my favorite for last. Little jumpy. I think this is black pastel pied. Got this nifty little white line down the front of his face or her face, which I think is pretty unique. Again, this is 85 to 90% white. So trying to tell the nuances in the pattern is going to be really tricky, but just a beautiful, beautiful animal. I guess somebody's not camera shy. Let's get you put away. Oh, how can you go wrong with a pied, especially with darker colors that just mix so well? The contrast is awesome. This one may be my favorite. I don't think this one has shed yet. Although it looks clearer than this morning. But look at that head. I like how the eye stripes meet together completely behind the head. There's definitely more pattern here. I think, and this is just an initial opinion, but I'm thinking this may be a Super GHI yellow belly pied. But it'll probably take some time to try and distinguish that, and probably somebody with a little bit more experience. This one is a male, for sure. was kind of hoping it was female, but he might be staying put anyway. Well, that's all our snakes. I'm going to finish getting them cleaned up and take some pictures. Thanks for watching.
All right, guys, so here I am with my first baby that I kept from that clutch. This is actually the very first egg that I cut, and the one that blew my mind so much, that real natural reaction that you got there. She's calmed down a bit. She was crawling all over the place, but she is obviously, she's more high white than pattern, but she is gorgeous. If you look at her, look at these dark. This is great contrast, like just amazing contrast. What I believe she is, again, I can't say, she's a black pastel GHI pied, but she's possibly super GHI. Again, I just don't know that for sure. And you'll see the same kind of confusion in the next one. But I did get help from Garrick DeMeyer, who has a lot more experience with this. And he kind of felt the same way. Couldn't say for sure. So we look forward to raising them up and proving them out. This girl, you'll see here in a minute, she is a beast. She's just over a year old. She's sitting right at about right at about 900 grams. And she has always been all about eating and looking like she wants seconds. So in a second here, I'll show you her brother. Obviously, they're the same age, born on the same day. Maybe I need to pull him out for a side-by-side, but I think I'll save the suspense. Save the, I don't know. Anyway, I'll pull him out here in a second, look at him, because he's definitely my favorite one from the clutch. But he's almost 300 grams less than her. So that's almost 1/3. Not quite, but almost 1/3 of less in weight than this girl. So she's doing great. Hopefully in a couple more years, she'll be ready to produce some absolutely amazing babies for us. So let's do one more close-up if I can. Those patterns, just rich color, blending so well. But anyway, let's put her up and let's take a look at her brother. And last but not least, obviously, we've got my favorite from the clutch. This is a male that I initially put him for sale, but decided to keep him. And what I believe he is a super GHI yellow belly pied. Now, how do I know that for sure? I don't. And I'm not sure how to know for sure until I breed him, unless I want to do genetic testing, but trying to remember if I can even get those. I haven't looked at it in a while. I'm sure I could, but you saw how cool he was when he was a baby. But when he was a baby, he definitely had a yellow belly pied look to him, no doubt about it. But as he got older, he actually lost some of the key identifiers that we would use for yellow belly and a pied. Primarily, if you can see on his saddles here, these pattern spots, he's got this dark outline on them. There was no dark outline bordering these when he was first hatched. He's got them now. They're coming in, and typically your yellow belly pies will not have any borders, any defined black borders or dark borders around their saddles. So that's a little confusing, but when you look back at when he was first hatched, after his first shed or two, he had none of that. That developed afterwards. The other thing is his head, those eye stripes were kind of bright and distinct. Trying to focus on you, dude. But as he's gotten older, and he doesn't want to participate with me here, his head has just gotten darker and darker, and those eye stripes have faded more and more. Sorry about that. And so you can see them in person. I can't tell how well it's coming across there, but you can see they're just so much darker and blended in than when he started. And his head just seems to get darker with every shed, which I think is awesome. This little guy, he's right at a year old, or I guess he's a little over a year old, couple months. He's right at 600 grams. So he actually probably could be ready to breed for me this year, which would be kind of cool. Haven't really put that plan together, but we're probably going to put him to some females this year and see what we get. hopefully we can prove out that super GHI. But just amazing boy. I love him. He's pretty sweet, but he's shy. He kind of stays to himself. And yep, I hope you've enjoyed this update. Tell me which of these two you like the best. Fortunately, I don't have to choose because they both get to stay with me. That's the benefit of breeding something really awesome. Even if it's completely unexpected, I get to keep my favorites. Not always, but these two definitely stay and put for a long, long time. Anyway, I hope you like these. I hope you've enjoyed the video. And as always, I want to remind you to share the love of reptiles with anybody you can. I'll see you guys next time.